Alright, looks like we are off, though. Well, if it's not a bomb seed, they start with bombs right away, so that's at least a nice thing for the escape. Which EvilSparky will actually probably be happy about. He actually wants to see bombs on Uncle, but in this case, probably don't want to see bombs on Uncle anymore. You want to see anything other than that. And we'll find out what is on Uncle today. It's not a sword. Oh, it's a bomb start anyways. So that makes that first chest completely worthless, because that's still just going to give him the 10 bombs. And we get a piece of heart in the Uncle escape. I know some people don't mind bombs on Uncle, because if you're good with them, then you know you at least don't have to farm for bombs for that backup escape. So you don't have to worry about those items. You can get back there with at least one of those 10 bombs. But we're just going to make our way through escape and save Zelda. And we'll see how they work with their bomb strats. Looks like Elbody has been practicing this start quite a bit then, because that was a very clean first guard. Yeah, there was that ugly seed that was bombs and Burna for Landmolus, and that was where progression was, so not a very nice start. Let's give them a little bit more difficulty with the green guard, but gets it on the second bomb. Sparky gets the guard down fairly quickly, takes a hit. Elbody's got to be a little careful, can't take a hit from a bomb, and Sparky now can't just take a hit from anything. Ooh, unfortunately, takes a death. And he probably is going to wish he picked up that chest, because we have a sword in the chest. No, I did not commentate the Burna and Bomb required Landmolus. I was commentating on another match, I believe, at the time, because I missed it. He does get all of his bombs back, so that's nice, but yeah, he's probably going to feel a little behind. It's not too bad, it's still early in the seed, but he's going to pick up that sword. Wish he checked the chest before trying the bombs. That's why it's always nice to just check that chest, just to be safe if you got a bomb strat, because there is the chance you might find a weapon in there. In the meantime, Elbody has grabbed Zelda from her cell and is making his way out of the escape now. He is going for bomb strats again. Looks like it's a lot cleaner. Does take the suicide and then picks up his chest and gets the sword. Probably a couple of fury slashes there. EvilSparky1's going to refill on some hearts here. Probably go grab that other jar to kill the guard. And he'll pick up Zelda himself. Okay, Zelda's chest had that's a heart container. Okay. So the next chest we're going to find in the sewers does have to be a small key so we can get further into the sewers. And I don't believe we found map yet, so that means there's going to be 3 chests still in the back, between the sanctuary chest and the 3 in the back of escape behind the bombable wall. There's the small key on Elbody's side. Now he's just got to go into this room. Thankfully, he has that sword, doesn't have to worry about trying to kill this rat with a bomb. Probably one of the hardest things to do in Escape right now. And we'll get our first check at the back of Escape. Alright, there's our map. We get the single arrow and some more bombs. It's probably actually nice to see those bombs where they are, because with Elbody only being at 1 bomb, that gives him the bombs he needs to get through Kakariko without having to go buy bombs first. And right now with money being short, it's very helpful. It was starting bombs Pyrolite, and then the sword was in the second chest in the escape. And we get a bomb upgrade in the sanctuary chest. So nothing major in the bombable wall. So even if you would have missed it, you would have been thinking about it, but you wouldn't have needed to come back for it. I think EvilSparky might have forgot he had the sword. Decides to go for the suicide strat on the rat. Looks like tier 2 tree pole, or one of our, not tier 1, is just going to be some single rupees. But the crab pole is 20 rupees. That's nice to see. Because we were very short on money. EvilSparky just has a couple more rooms to go before he can drop Zelda off. We're going to get our first lumberjack ledge check. Just a big 20 though. So unless we need Ega for Dark World access, we will not be going through Ega 1. Well, he does skip that crab to go for more rupees. And we have an early lamp. So if you're wanting an Ega seed, it's looking pretty good right now. We've still got a lot of areas to check, but we're only either a Master Sword or a Cape away from Ega 1 being unlocked. EvilSparky does the tree pull, and we'll get the crab pull and see the 20 rupees. And he'll end up getting 120. Oh, that last rupee, the lumberjack ate, or just pocketed for himself. Alright, getting our check in Blind's Hut. Get an arrow upgrade, 20 rupees. 10 arrows. A bomb upgrade. EvilSparky going for some more money, don't blame him whatsoever. And 20 more rupees, so nothing major in Blind's Hut, just some money. EvilSparky going to be grabbing his lamp. And Elbody is going to probably be heading to Kakariko Well. We got our first map check. We've got vanilla red pendant and blue pendant on Desert and Hera. And then we've got a regular crystal in Eastern. Lumberjack Ledge was a big 20. Speaking of big 20s, there's another one in our first chest in the well, and a second big 20. 10 more arrows. A heart container, and a fire rod. Alright, so we have another weapon outside of bombs and a sword, however, little low on magic, and maybe not the weapon you want to see. We've got a moon pearl, though. Piece of heart in the chicken hut. Just have the back of the bar to check now. Since we don't have a bottle, we can't check Sick Kid just yet. Elbody's gonna need to buy bombs, only has one left. We'll see what's in the back of the bar. Just another heart container, so Moon Pearl and Fire Rod were the only things of note in Kakariko Village. And none of them opened up any new locations just yet. EvilSparky picks up his Fire Rod. We'll see what's on the library. Just 3 bombs, we're not going to be coming back for those. And EvilSparky picks up his Moon Pearl. Just 10 arrows on the race game, so won't be going up there for those either. Yeah, but right now, it's definitely looking towards Aga. We still have not as many locations. We went through about half of our available locations, but we still do have Mini Moldorm Cave, Ice Rod Cave, the Dam, and then with Lamp, everything in Eastern, except for Armos and Sahasrara's Hut, are available right now. So still a good amount of locations left. Last thing they're hoping to see right now is either a sword upgrade, as funny as that might be, or a cape. An arrow upgrade. Just a soggy arrow upgrade, so what's in the actual dam? Just a piece of heart. EvilSparky is going for a play that's been seeing more common, where you just kind of blindly check the race game. If you see its item you don't need, just save and quit. That way, if there's something there, especially if you have light progression in Kakariko, you're not wasting time. Or we'll see what's in the Mini Moldorm Cave. Death Mountain is not accessible at all right now. They would either need to get the flute or a glove upgrade. And these mini troll dorms are not taking any prisoners, giving Elbody a little bit of trouble. We get a Bombos medallion. There's a Master Sword. So Aga 1 is now in logic. Some upgrades and some rupees. Elbody is going to have to be careful. Gets a heart, so can take a hit from the crabs, but those crabs do 2 damage when you're on green mail. Okay, it does take 1 hit, so cannot take another hit from these crabs. Alright, we'll see what's in the Ice Rod Cave, and then see if he decides. Fake Flipper is an option as well. Waterfall of Wishing is open with the Moon Pearl. Just a heart container in the ice rod cave, though. EvilSparky gets his Bombos Medallion, his Master Sword, and Elbody is going to head over to Eastern. So there is a potential. There's going to be at least 5 items that they can find in this area, potentially 6 depending on how items are laid out in Eastern, if they decide to dive into Eastern. Another heart container. We got a hook shot. So hook shot itself doesn't open anything up. However, if AGA 1, and that does kind of seem more like AGA 1 is the play now, that does open up all of Dark World from the AGA portal now. Yeah, and Agina's cave is still open as well, so that is an option. EvilSparky looks like he's going to make the decision and fake Flipper, though, if he doesn't take a death on the way. Has to be careful, the crab's coming out. We'll get our first check in Eastern. We got 3 potential items in here if Armos is not holding one, and assuming we don't find the bow. Just a map in the first chest. Yeah, with everything they found right now, we're still 2 items away from any kind of Dark World access. Without going to egg, we either need to find both glove upgrades, or we need to find a glove upgrade and a hammer. We get the big key on Elbody's side, but finding the hook shot does kind of seem to lead a little bit more to it being AGA because of how much it opens up in the Dark World. Lake Hylia Island is only a 5-arrow upgrade. Has to be careful. Okay. He's going to fake Flipper into the Waterfall of Wishing. Now, if he finds a glove upgrade here, and assuming we don't find Flipper somewhere that's accessible, that could be huge. We got a mushroom and the cape. We do have some boots. Okay, just 5 rupees on Zora Ledge. EvilSparky looks like he is going to be making the play up to Eastern as well. So, if there's a glove upgrade somewhere, though, that does unlock quite, or the flute, it does unlock quite a few locations with the hookshot, because we would have access to East Death Mountain then. Just a piece of heart. I don't know if Armos has an item or not, but we just found the boots. So that does unlock Bonk Rocks, which looks like we're going to get a check on. Well, Sparky picks up his hookshot and his heart container. And both racers opting to skip talking to Sahasrara. It's not such a big deal in open or normal when you're not playing Key Sanity, but he does tell you where the green pendant is. We have blue mail. Yeah, right now I think the only place that's left to check within logic Looks like Elbody might be making that call is to go check Agina's cave. But within logic, we only have Agina's cave. EvilSparky can check Mushroom. Yes, as far as the game, both runners have the exact same seed. So their items are going to be in the exact same location, and it's not random. The library shelf was just 3 bombs. Alright, so with Elbody finding that, we know that Aga is logically required right now. No, you do not need a glove to get to the witch. Elbody is going to be making the play into Aga. It'll be interesting to see what Sparky decides to do after finishing up Eastern, because we know he won't find anything but the boots. Sure, he's going to check Bonk Rocks, but after that, he's got the Mushroom. He could check Mushroom, and if that ends up being anything like a glove, book, anything that unlocks some locations, there's still the possibility that he could have an Aga skip. He gets his boots. Yeah, which is out of logic, so if he does find something there, it's still out of logic, but if he finds something that unlocks more locations, he still has the potential to find something that could keep him away from Aga. But we'll see what he does after finishing off Eastern. Or as much of Eastern as he can get to. Elbody's working on heading up Aga's tower, though, is having a good run of it. EvilSparky is just going to immediately go to Aga 1. So is going to skip checking the Mushroom. Isn't even going to check the Bonk Rocks, anything like that. It's just going to assume this is an Aga seed. Now I'm going. Yeah, Mushroom was in the Waterfall of Wishing, which we don't have flippers, so we can't get there yet. And having that fire rod with full magic is going to make this some of these rooms pretty quick, especially the later ones. Master Sword does help, but the fire rod will kill everything in one shot. They just have to burn a little bit. And EvilSparky will have to be a little bit careful compared to Elbody because he does not have the blue mail yet. He did not check the Bonk Rocks. Boots were in the big chest in Eastern Palace. Alright, Elbody is on the 7th floor of the tower now. So chat, time to get your guesses in how many blue balls we're going to see on Aga 1 today. I'm going to go with 4 blue balls. Alright, most of the chat's being pretty nice to them, but some people not so much. Well, there's the first one. So far just one blue ball, I believe. EvilSparky making use of that fire rod. There's two. There's three. And four. Ega's not being nice with the second round. Alright, I think Ega needs one more shot. Oh, yep. Okay, so 4 blue balls. Yeah, Ega 1 was not having it today. It was just like, I'm going to tease you and think you're not going to get many, and then we get to that second cycle of him, and he's like, yeah, here's all the blue balls. Get a big 20 on the pyramid, and EvilSparky starting his Ega fight, he'll get his 4 blue balls. Elbody is going to immediately head into pod. Probably not a terrible idea, because you can find out really quickly if this is going to be a bow-locked dungeon. We don't have an empty bottle or a potion, so we can't use the potion glitch to get into the bow-locked area. More than likely, because if we don't find, if we can't go in here, we don't find a hammer here, he's going to have to go to the north anyways to hookshot across. We get a map check. Green is Ice Palace, and our reds are at Thieves Town and Skull Woods. Alright, down goes Ega 1 on EvilSparky's side. Okay, so this dungeon is not bow-locked. Hammer itself doesn't really lock that much inside of pod. It really only locks Helmstor King himself. The bow is the big thing that really locks this dungeon if you don't find a small key in that very first chest. EvilSparky is going to go to the catfish first. Or not. Changes his mind. Oh yeah, that's right. There has to be something in pod unless it's back in the light world. But it would be a break anyways, so. Yeah, there is going to be something in pod that's major then. They can't get to Hype Cave yet. They don't have a hammer. There's the big key. Another key. Another key. Well, there's our first glove. So we can get to the west side of the Dark World now. Yep, and Pod living up to the Mullet Mansion name. Business in the front and a party in the back. We've got the Cane of Burna. And a Tempered Sword. Ooh, Sparky unfortunately falling is going to have to reset the room. Well, and we have a hammer as well in its vanilla location. Well, you know how full access to Dark World everywhere. Is this even randomized? So yeah, Pod being completely loaded. And because of the glove that's there, this was a forced double dip in a Pod as well. Yeah, EvilSparky about to get his Burna, Tempered, and the hammer. Yeah, finding the first gloves, that does open up the entire light side world. Or light side of Death Mountain, including Hera. So the only things that can't be checked in the light side of Death Mountain are Tablet and what's on top of Spectacle Rock. We can see what it is, just can't grab it. Yep, Zora's within logic now. Gloves and hammer opened up quite a bit. We'll see where EvilSparky decides to go. Skullwood's not, pretty good idea. Yeah, this is Terra from Final Fantasy VI. EvilSparky is going to check Bonk Rocks, and then we'll see if he goes up Death Mountain. All right, we've got Titan's Mitts inside of Skull Woods. So yeah, there was definitely no way to logic break this to get into the Dark World. And a book. Skull Woods has value this time. The dungeons so far have been loaded. We don't have a mirror yet, so we'll have to wait on a pedestal check. And we won't find it in here because we already found the 2 items. And yeah, as far as Skull Woods, it is completable. We have Fire Rod. And not to mention, with it being one of the 5-6 crystals, the other one is Thieves Town, which is also fully completable now. We could have something on the Pyramid Ferry very easily right now, because there's a lot in play still that's necessary. Right, EvilSparky gets his Titan's Mitts. Falls down the hole. Is going to go back. We'll get his book. He'll become literate. Elbody using Bombo strats. Yeah, with the way they'll be able to route this, because, they'll be able to go south from Village of Outcasts. They won't be able to do mirror locations. But there's a lot they can check and just kind of route the Pyramid Ferry in as well with it. Ooh, EvilSparky getting trolled a little bit from the Gibdo, knocking him right into that Wallmaster. And the Beetle's not having any of it either. Right, Elbody gets his key. He's going to head to the Mothula fight. Has 6 hearts, Fire Rod with about 3/4 of his magic bar left, and Tempered Sword. Still can be a rough fight. He's got Blue Mail, so Mothula is not going to deal as much damage, but these spikes don't really care. Not sure if EvilSparky has been counting items or not, because he's continuing to check for items. We've already found both the items that are here. But down goes Mothula on Elbody's side for our first crystal, and he gives a map. And EvilSparky will make his way to the back of Skull Woods, where he's going to do his Mothula fight. And at this point, you know, with the other 5/6 crystal being in play, and it's Thieves Town, I fully expect to see Elbody head right to Village of Outcasts, check everything there, and head inside Thieves Town. I mean, it's nice to find the map from the boss, that way you won't get lost on your way out, right? EvilSparky grabs the key from there. Thought he might do an intentional death there to get some of his hearts back. Alright, we have a magic powder in Sea House. So Batman is completely open right now. You still have to go through some of the dungeon, though, to get back on Skull Woods. And the red meringue inside of the chess game. Just going to head right into Thieves Town. We still got the bombable hut that he needs to check, but he'll be routing that probably right after dealing with Thieves Town. Alright, so far just 2 dungeon items, so we still got all 4 items. Got the big key and the compass so far. EvilSparky trying to kind of keep his magic in check with this. Knows he's going to need it for Mothula, or would like to have it for Mothula. These are 0-2 runners, so whoever wins this race still has the hopes of making it to the brackets. The loser, they'll still be able to continue racing for the next 4 weeks, but they won't have a chance to make it to brackets anymore at that point, unfortunately. Alright, nothing major so far in Thieves Town. Getting some cape strats on EvilSparky's side. And takes him down. Yeah, and we did get the very rare no items at all in Thieves Town. Just all the dungeon items are right in the front. So the back of Thieves Town is going to be loaded as well. We'll see if it continues our trend of dungeons of having some major items as well. And EvilSparky checking this last chest in Skull Woods. Just gets his key. So far, we just found 3 bombs, though, in Thieves Town. We'll see if there's major stuff down here in the basement or on Blind himself. Okay, so yeah, we've got major stuff in Thieves Town as well. We've got some silver arrows when we find that bow. So no silverless Ganon today. Anakin of Samaria. So yeah, Thieves Town, I'm continuing the trend of the dungeons having major items. But EvilSparky picks up his powder. We'll see if Blind continues the trend and has something now. The dungeon's having some serious value, though, in this seed. So we've got the Bloomerang in the Bombable Hut. Everybody going to be safe. Pop the Cane of Burna. Down goes Blind, and we've got the red mail. So yeah, I would say that that's pretty loaded. Then we had the silvers, Cane of Samaria, and red. Yes, bow can be on pedestal. So since we are finding a good amount of progression, we're starting to get down to kind of just the last few items we need. As far as what we need for Go Mode right now, we're not sure on the medallions because we haven't been able to see Misery Mire or Turtle Rock, but the flute can be there, the mirror can be there, the ice rod can be there, the bow can be there. Both medallions could potentially be there. So pretty much every item that could be necessary for Go Mode right now could be on pedestal. Gonna get a hammer peg check. With the item dash. Just a piece of heart in the hammer pegs. We'll see if Elbody decides to run the digging game and then come back for Jeremiah the Frog before taking him on a world tour and then doing a save and quit. At least going to do the digging game. We'll see if he comes back for Jeremiah. EvilSparky making his way through Thieves Town is going to start getting all his items. So 14 digs for a piece of heart. EvilSparky picks up his 3 bombs. Going to continue making his way through Thieves Town. Bombs the ceiling to get that light in the Blind's room. And Elbody's going to check our favorite Stumpy friend, who's just holding a big 20 for us. So Elbody does decide to skip grabbing Jeremiah. And EvilSparky down to 1 heart now, has to be careful. Oh, we've got a mirror inside of Hype Cave. And an ether medallion. EvilSparky picking up his silvers. Yep, gonna make his way back, check the K-45. EvilSparky picks up Canis Samaria. Sees the 50 rupees, just gonna skip out of that. Oh, decides to grab it anyways. Probably thinking about Zora still, because money has not been very plentiful in this seed so far. Mirror was in Hype Cave. EvilSparky making full use of the sword beams he has. Doesn't have them anymore. And to me, Hype Cave right now is about a 7 out of 10, but it could go up because we don't know the value of ether at this moment in time. We'll see if Elbody decides to route in the Batman too. Since he's got Mirror and Hammer, he could do this. Come back to the Dark World and then grab the purple chest as well. There's our first bottle though, so Sick Kid's open. Those dwarves are being mean. Not only are they crafting bottles, they're sticking fairies inside as prisoners. Looks like Elbody is going to be checking Batman. Yeah, everything on Death Mountain that's overworld is opened up now. Hair is opened up now. The only thing that's not is the tablet. And we don't know what Turtle Rock is as a medallion. If it's Quake, we can't get in there. But if it's either Bombos or Ether, we could get in there and make it all the way to Laser Bridge as well. Oh wait, never mind, we do have the book. I keep forgetting about that. So yeah, everything on Death Mountain is accessible. We just don't know about Turtle Rock just yet. I don't know what Sick Kid was doing with the bombs. So EvilSparky is going to grab Jeremiah, it looks like. And is going to head up to Death Mountain. I like this. It's really the best probably option you have as far as items. There are a ton of items up here right now. So right now, our items for go mode, as far as we're aware, we still need flippers, bow, ice rod, and flute. And potentially Quake if Misery Mire or Turtle Rock need Quake. EvilSparky heading up to the north, probably going to check out the Bumper Cave. Half Magic is on Spectacle Rock. I'm sure we're going to see that picked up. EvilSparky is going to save and quit for the Smith. Stigma of the Rose, this is a 0-2 match. And EvilSparky is going to check King's Tomb. Will be our first check there. Elbody's going to work on probably going... Oh, nope, going to go right to Paradox Cave. And we'll see where EvilSparky heads next now. Get 50 rupees and a piece of heart so far in the bottom part of Paradox Cave. We'll see what is in the 5 chests. We got 20 bucks, another piece of heart, 20 more bucks. Our first shield, and another piece of heart. Sparky has not turned the mushroom in yet, as far as I'm aware. EvilSparky gonna check Batman while he's here. And the Dead Rock doing what Dead Rocks do best. But yeah, Mushroom is still currently not in Logic. We would need to find the flippers before Mushroom's in Logic. And we're going to get our check on the Spiral Cave. Well, now Mushroom's within Logic because we got flippers. So flippers puts Swamp Palace into play, puts Ice Palace into play, gives us the Mushroom and the Cape. EvilSparky getting his Hype Cave, gonna pick up his mirror and his ether. Yeah, flippers is kind of one of those items, if you need it to finish the seed, it's kind of the last thing you want, because at that point, you know, you can, if you have Ice Palace and Swamp Palace as go mode, or as crystals, you can go mode both of them at that point. We're gonna get our hook shot check. Didn't have anything in the Super Bunny Cave. Got a bomb upgrade. Arrow upgrade. Some bombs. And 20 bucks. EvilSparky is going to go ahead and check the Bombos tablet. And so Turtle Rock is ether, so we do have access to Turtle Rock right now, all the way to Laser Bridge. Get a piece of heart. He is going to check Agana's cave. Nobody has checked Pyramid Fairy just yet either, though. I think that might be what Elbody's thinking about right now, though. Nope, I lied. Yeah, so with Ether being necessary for Turtle Rock, Hype Cave, to me, upgraded to about a 9 out of 10. And Elbody gonna make the play into Swamp Palace now. And he did skip some stuff on Death Mountain. He did not go and check Spike Cave. I don't believe he went up to check the... Or no, did he check Ether Tablet? I don't remember if he checked Ether Tablet or not. Okay, so he skipped Ether and Spike Cave. Hera's open. It's a pendant, but it doesn't take too long to go in there and clear out, assuming you don't need to go into the basement. Yes, King's Tomb was checked. So those skips could come back to bite Elbody in the butt. EvilSparky heading up to Spectacle Rock is going to see the half magics, going to head inside. Yeah, I'm guessing he's hoping for another loaded dungeon at this point, which I don't blame him with the way the dungeons have been so far. They have been completely loaded. If you can go into a dungeon, just jump right in. Or we'll pick up his half magic. He is going to check the Ether Tablet. Oh, does get trolled by the Dead Rock, though. The flippers were Spiral Cave. Okay, just a big 20 in Ether Tablet, so not bad for Elbody. He is going to dip into Hera, though. We get a swag net. Okay, so our first item in Hera is just a big 20. And we'll see if we need to make a trip into the basement for a big key. We do not. So a pretty good chance that the basement's not needed on this seed then. Got 3 item locations up here. Yeah, if something major is up here in Hera, or if EvilSparky remembers Spike Cave before he finishes, that could be a huge thing. Yeah, so nothing in Hera was a nice quick check. Pet has not been checked yet. So far, nothing in Swamp, though. So Swamp is kind of... might be that first dungeon that's gonna buck our trend so far of being a loaded dungeon. EvilSparky gets his flippers. Yeah, I don't blame EvilSparky for dumping into Hera whatsoever. You know, that did not take him that long to check for 2 items, and now it's out of his mind that if they're looking for that 1 item, he doesn't have to check Hera, while Elbody will have to run up just for Hera, as well as he does have Ether Tablet, which we know is nothing, and Spike Cave's still there too. EvilSparky checking Paradox Cave, though, while Elbody's making his way further into Swamp. We'll see if there's anything. Okay, we've got a shovel in Swamp Palace at the very least. Stigma, that is true. Also, Bow can be on pedestal too. Alright, EvilSparky is checking Super Bunny Cable. Elbody goes after Argus. And Argus has the butter. So right now, as far as pedestal, 3 of the items we know are required. The bow, the ice rod, and the flute can be on pedestal. There is a 4th item that could be necessary. We just don't know about Misery Mire yet. If Misery Mire is Quake, then that's also on the table. Yeah, so Ganon probably is not going to be a hard fight whatsoever. They have red mail with Butter Sword and Silvers. EvilSparky is going to check. See Ether. Okay, so he is not going to check Spike Cave either. So neither runner checked Spike Cave while they were up there. And Elbody is going to head into the Pendant Desert Palace. Now we'll see if EvilSparky is going to check the Pyramid Fairy or if it's going into Swamp right after Elbody finished. Zora Ledge has been checked. That was 5 rupees, but Zora himself has not been checked. Looks like EvilSparky is going to make the... Oh, never mind. Looked like he's going to. There's our big key. Alright, so nothing in desert then. So far, both of our pendant dungeons, nothing important. Ice Palace is open though, and it is a green pendant. So here's my question to chat then. If you're running this seed so far, you have to pretend you're not playing against somebody you don't know what they're doing. You have the book, you've been inside Desert Palace, and you see Ice Palace as a green pendant. Would you go and check the pedestal before thinking about running it? Elbody's going to be making the play up to Zora. Flippers were at Spiral Cave. He gets his mushroom in his cape. We still haven't had the mushroom check, I believe, either. Yeah, so right now, as far as what they can check, let's see here. Fat Fairy needs to be checked. Ice Palace is open. Turtle Rock is completely open with the exception of Trinex. Spike Cave is also open, but other than that, I think for Overworld, there's not much in the Overworld anymore. So Zora is stealing all of Elbody's money. The pyramid itself has been checked, but the Pyramid Fairy is still open, which neither runner has checked, and they've been able to check pretty much since they got to the Dark World after checking Pod. I don't know if we had Hobo. I think EvilSparky skipped this. Nope. Hobo just has 5 rupees. Ganon is hoarding all the money in his tower. Alright, EvilSparky is continuing his trek through the left side of Swamp. And Elbody is going to make the play into Ice Palace. Which I like this play. With what you found on Death Mountain, you found the flippers, and that was really the only major item they found. You've already checked every other location that's unlocked by flippers. So really, it's either here or you gamble going into Turtle Rock without an ice rod, and either finding the ice rod there or knowing that perhaps you were forced to do a double dip. Also, I don't think Elbody checked his shovel though either. Just a compass in the very first chest, though. Yes, they've both been in Palace of Darkness. They found their first gloves in Palace of Darkness, as well as Hammer, Tempered Sword, and Cane of Burna. EvilSparky picking up his shovel, piece of heart. As far as overworld, I think the shovel, Spike Cave, Fat Fairy is all we have. I believe Elbody checked Lunchbox already. Elbody has a very nice Ice Palace bomb jump, though. Graveyard Ledge might not have been checked, actually. And Shroom checked, that hasn't been checked either. A lot of the fetch quests haven't been done yet, except for Batman. EvilSparky takes on Argus, gets his Butter Sword. And yeah, as Cryptix brought up, the Ice Palace Bomb Jump, if you have Samaria and you're full clearing this dungeon, you actually do not need to do it. Unless you can do it like right away with the first chance and very little setup time, you really don't need to do it. And EvilSparky might actually be following right into Ice Palace now. So far, nothing of value, though. Yeah, well, there's a bow, so it can't be on the green pendant. Elbody thinking about saving and quitting. He does save and quit after finding the bow. So Ice Palace was indeed a play that needed to be made. Now it'll be interesting to see if EvilSparky decides to do the same. Yeah, I don't want to say it was a bad play because we don't know as of right now, but I don't think they found any other items so far. So I think there's still 2 items inside of Ice Palace, not to mention a green pendant. So yeah, so you're looking at 3 items inside of Ice Palace right now. So at this point for Go mode, we need a Ice Rod, we need a Flute, and potentially Quake, if Misery Mire requires Quake. Yeah, so if we find out that there's a Flute, Ice Rod, or even seeing Quake, potentially, or if this becomes a pedestal seed and EvilSparky clears this dungeon out, it gives him a very large lead. Oh, got it right at the very end, pretty much the last frame he could. Elbody going through the bow-locked part of escape when he's already full cleared everything. Usually that takes a bit longer than just kind of running through the back. Or the front. And EvilSparky is taking a little bit different routing. Elbody decided to go to the room with the collapsing floor to kind of skip the freezer room that we're in right now on EvilSparky's side. So he didn't check this chest. Well, there's some of the rupees we were missing so far. Gonna get another bomb jump on EvilSparky's side, since we do not have the big key yet. Alright, Elbody making his way into the basement of Pod on his way to King Helmasaur. There is still one item on Helmasaur. Alright, what does EvilSparky do? He is going to continue, though. So EvilSparky is not going to gamble Ice Palace. And this should be a very quick Helmasaur fight with the Butter Sword or Silvers, whichever way you want to kill this boss. Alright, 2 slashes after his mask goes off. Down goes King Helmasaur on Elbody's side, which gives us his 4th crystal. But he just has a big 20. There's our 3rd item. So nothing else of value was inside of Ice Palace. But we still have a green pendant. Could Sahasrara be holding one of these items we need? Maybe Sahasrara's got a flute to pass the time. He can play some tunes. Or he could be holding that one item that nobody ever wants to have to go and loves seeing Turtle rock his pendant. Elbody's going to head in, grab the crystal off of the Armos Knights. Alright, and at this point I kind of see EvilSparky probably doing the exact same thing Elbody's doing. Heading over to the eastern pod area, checking green pendant, clearing these 2 dungeons out, and then at that point, you got to start thinking, where do I need to go? I think if you clear... if you clear Eastern Pod, don't find anything as EvilSparky, check Green Pendant, you don't find anything. You got a few overworld locations that you can still check. The main thing, though, is accessible dungeons. You only have Turtle Rock right now. He also has Desert that he hasn't checked, but Turtle Rock's the only one that we know hasn't been checked yet, and we're missing Ice Rod and Flute. I guess the question is would you check? I mean, they could check Pedestal, since, you know, Desert, Palace, Tower of Hair are both there, and then if you see a flute or an ice rod, that you go clear those dungeons quickly. Mire is not open. We do not have a flute yet. We're gonna get a green pendant check. Just a piece of heart, so Ice Palace was nothing. Elbody is going to check the shovel location. Just a bottle of green goo for the shovel location. Yeah, we're not sure if Ice Palace was nothing just yet. There's a very good chance that it's not, but if Pedestal is required right now, that puts EvilSparky at advantage, because Elbody is going to have to go back in there, clear out Ice Palace, and then both of them are going to have to go to Desert and Hera and clear those out. And from the looks of it, Elbody is going to make the play into Turtle Rock from the way he's routing. Yes, Sick Kid was checked. He did not have anything necessary. It's interesting to see Turtle Rock get called before even checking Pyramid Fairy. At the very least, Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, Mushroom still hasn't been checked. Pyramid Fairy still hasn't been checked. Spike Case hasn't been checked. Yeah, if you want a pedestal seed, you do not want to see anything in Turtle Rock right now. The chance of that, probably not very likely. We'll probably see something in here, but the question is, what do we see? This also could be a forced double dip into Pod. If we find Flute in here and no Ice Rod, and then Ice Rod is in the Mire area. We need Flute and we need Ice Rod. And potentially Quake. Alright, so EvilSparky finishes off Eastern Palace. I'm guessing at this point he's going to head over to Pod. Well, there's the Flute. So now it is Ice Rod, potentially Quake needed for go mode. And EvilSparky looks like he might be heading up to Catfish before running through Pod. Alright, makes his way through the chain shop room. 2 hearts left. I'm sure he's going to powder this anti-fairy at the bottom of the stairs. Alright, get some more of those hearts. Okay, so the mushroom check was just a shield. And now he's going to go catfish, and I would guess mirror and go check Zora. Because EvilSparky has not checked Zora yet. So here we're going to play a guessing game, and as fun as this one is, we know we need Ice Rod. Misery Mire area is open with the flute. We're not all the way through Turtle Rock yet. Where do you think we're going to find the Ice Rod? All right, seeing a lot of ped seeds. You want the ped dream still. See somebody trolling about where Quake is. I personally think Ice Rod is going to be on the Fat Fairy, since both of them have just skipped it for as long as they've had access to it. So we got a few locations left. It's $50. Well, EvilSparky is finally doing our Pyramid Fairy check. That we've been waiting for I believe about an hour now. If Ice Rod is inside Pyramid Fairy, I believe, to me, that puts EvilSparky in a very large lead at that point. There it is, Ice Rod and a bottle. So Elbody is going to have to dip into Turtle Rock again at this point. Quake, yeah, Turtle Rock has the flute. Pet is not dead just yet. We haven't checked Misery Mire. If Misery Mire is Quake, we could still have Pedestal. Yeah, Elbody does have the flute. Not sure where EvilSparky is going right now. He might be thinking about a pedestal? No? See, and finding that flute could be a bad thing for Elbody, because that will probably take him into the mire area, and he'll full clear mire and not find it. Alright, so Elbody's going to get his flute. Yeah, I believe Elbody's going to head right into the mire area at this point. looking for Ice Rod now. Assuming Quake isn't needed. If Quake is needed for Meyer, that's probably the best thing that can happen to Elbody at this point. Yep, he's going right to Meyer. Gonna make us wait just a little bit longer for that medallion check, though. Just a single rupee and another fairy captured in a bottle. That is Ether, so we have full access to Misery Meyer. Yep, so Pet is now dead, unfortunately. Yeah, he's just going to turn this in, and after that, he's pretty much checked every overworld location at that point. I think at that point, he's going to just head to Turtle Rock. And yeah, I don't know if Sparky, I'll have to check on his menu screen, but he might not have cleared Pod. No, he has not cleared Pod. He still has to go get Pod. So this could potentially be a very close race then. Yeah, after this, Elbody really only has a few overworld locations to check. And if he doesn't find... I mean, he's got Hera. He still has part of Death Mountain, too. But that's still going to lead him... Or, no, he already checked Turtle Rock. So, he might go back up Death Mountain and check Hera, the Tablet, and Spike Cave. Elbody doing a little bit different routing. He's going to head into Pod now, though. Which Pod isn't going to be necessarily a time loss or anything like that. He has to run through here. It does give him time if he's thinking, what do I need to do at this point? But I'm going to need to clear this anyways. EvilSparky heading into Pod, though. Gonna finish that off. Elbody's working on Misery Meyer still. Okay. So I did go look at Elbody's because I did bring somebody up that, and I actually just see it in chat. Yeah, Elbody does not actually have red crystals marked on his tracker right now, so he might not even be thinking about the Pyramid Fairy whatsoever. So we'll see where they decide to go, where Elbody decides to go when he's finished with Meyer, because he needs to, that's all he's looking for now is an ice rod. We know where it is. So the red crystals are the vanilla 5 and 6 crystals from the vanilla game. What they do is allow you to buy the big bomb from the bomb shop in the Dark World that gets you into the Pyramid Fairy. Alright, Elbody's still looking for items. I believe that's his last chest, though, and only has Vitreous now. Oh, EvilSparky needs a key. Yeah, Elbody has not done the mushroom yet. Alright, Elbody's going through the dark area with Misery Mire. EvilSparky is about to pick up his small key so he can clear Pot out. There it is. Just a couple more rooms to get through on Elbody's side before he's to Vitreous, which should be a fairly quick fight with silver arrows. Alright, one more room to Vitreous. EvilSparky making his way back. And Elbody wisely deciding I'm going to ferry this anti-fairy and get my health up with Vitreous. Still can hit pretty hard with red mail. Better to be safe than sorry. Takes down all the little eyes. Now it's just 2 silver arrows to the big eye, and down goes Vitreous for Crystal 6. And he's holding Quake. Yeah, I mean, Ice Rod really was not in a trolley location this time. It's been available for a good long time. There's Pendant Ice Palace play for the bow. I mean, Turtle Rock wasn't a forced double dip because of that. Okay, sees the piece of heart on Checkerboard Cave. Gonna skip that. I'm probably thinking, where do I go now? The biggest concentration of items for him right now is Death Mountain. He has 4 items in Death Mountain. Fat Fairy's been available, I think, for about an hour now. Ice is in the left chest of the Pyramid Fairy. And Elbody is going away. I don't think he's checked Catfish, so he might be checking Catfish. All he's got to do is pyramid too. And we'll see where EvilSparky is going to go. Okay, picks the shield up. EvilSparky looks like he might be making the Turtle Rock play now. Yep, Elbody's gonna check Catfish. Ice Rod is Fat Fairy, which has been accessible for about an hour now. But both runners just never checked it. EvilSparky was the first one to check it about 15 minutes ago. He gets the big 20, and where does he go now? EvilSparky filling up potion. Alright, considering Elbody did not mirror and flute, he might be going to Pyramid Fairy then, because really his only option is Pyramid Fairy and then going up to Death Mountain, checking areas up there that he skipped. But he's going to hook shot across. Oh, he's going to check Graveyard Ledge. Yep, EvilSparky is going to Turtle Rock. We'll be in go mode in just a couple minutes. Does not have to come back to Turtle Rock. He will be able to full clear it right away. Alright, so EvilSparky is going to be going into go mode. He's going to get his flute very shortly. Elbody's still kind of thinking areas he might be able to go. Do want to make a mention, if you're enjoying what you're seeing as far as this race, please go ahead and follow the runners. They've been putting on a good show for us and definitely deserve it. Elbody is going to make the play up Death Mountain. He has not checked Hera. He skipped over Ether Tablet as well as Spike Cave. And at this point, Elbody might just finish Tower of Hera because of the limited locations now. He might be thinking about a pedestal as well. Yeah, the first, and this actually happened in a race last night that I commentated on. The 5-6 crystals were available pretty much immediately upon entering the Dark World. And you usually don't expect to have the 5-6 crystals that early into a seed to be even thinking about routing Pyramid Fairy with everything else. But EvilSparky gets his flute, knows he's in go mode. So he's going to be going through Turtle Rock as quickly as he possibly can. Then going to Mire, or going to get the Swag Duck, going through Mire, and then coming back up to go through Ganon's Tower. Gets the heart piece, the heart container. He is going to finish the dungeon at this point, so he may be thinking pedestal seed. Yeah, Rocky brings up a good point. EvilSparky probably will still full clear this dungeon, missing Quake and not having not being able to check Misery Mire. Because there's still that 33% chance that you might not be able to get in a mire and you're looking for an item. If you full clear this with everywhere else you've been, pretty much, you've cleared everything, then you know it's got to be in the mire area anyways. Ped cannot be Mirror Shield. We know that the third shield is actually on the floating island. Elbody getting trolled by Trolldorn. EvilSparky looks like he is actually going to go mode though, because he does skip some chests. Elbody gets the small key, knows he doesn't have to go to the basement though, but picks up his pendant. And if you think about it, when we got the mitts in Skull Woods, we didn't quite have the pendants yet, but we found Samaria and Thieves Town. So when they cleared Thieves Town, they could have actually immediately come up and cleared Turtle Rock at that point. They already had Samaria and Fire Rod, mitts, and Ether was accessible as well. EvilSparky might also feel behind right now, so he's gambling on nothing else being in Turtle Rock because of where he found the Ice Rod. Which I don't blame him at all, because, you know, Pyramid Fairy, if you've been paying attention and remembering, it's like this has been accessible since before an hour. I put it off this long and routed so many times just right next to it. If my opponent did this early, they've been able to clear Turtle Rock this whole time. It's probably in go mode already, and might even be in Ganon's Tower. Well, we'll get our pet check. Just a bomb upgrade. So now he's got to be thinking, where else do I have? He's already cleared Desert. I think all he has is, if he doesn't think Fat Fairy, he's going to go back to Ice. He might be making the play to Fat Fairy, though. So this is actually going to be pretty close then, if he's going to Fat Fairy right now. Yep, he is making the check. So this is going to be extremely close. Elbody does have to go back to Turtle Rock. He doesn't have to full clear it, though. He just has to get to Trinex. EvilSparky has to do a Go Mode Mire, which isn't a fast dungeon depending on where the big key is, but also still has to walk up Death Mountain to get to Ganon's Tower, whereas Elbody has to just go over to Ganon's Tower. And I'm not sure where the big key was in Misery Mire. Gonna check the Meyer medallion first, not even thinking about the shed. Sees it's either, knows he's in go mode now. Elbody gets the ice rod, gets a couple of fury slashes. And we do get the bird toss on EvilSparky1's side. Quake is on Vitreous. So yeah, EvilSparky will also get Quake and have a seemingly full inventory. I'm just not sure where this big key is in Misery Mire. If he finds it early, it's good for him. I don't know if anybody in chat remembers where the big key was in Misery Mire when Elbody ran through it. So it's not the first two chests. Okay, the chest behind the torches. So yeah, EvilSparky will have it in just a little bit then. Gotta hit the switch first. This probably is going to be, I'd say, inside Ganon's Tower, probably between 1 and 2 minutes. It is going to be a very close race. Yep, EvilSparky picks up his key. He looks like he does remember the alternate way to get to the back to save some time here. There's a teleporter back here behind a big key door. Yeah, Elbody is probably going to have a slight lead. Elbody's going to be going to Trinix in just a little bit. EvilSparky's a few rooms away from Vitreous. Elbody gets past the heads of Trinix. Just has the main body. EvilSparky's going to be heading into Vitreous in just a few seconds. Alright, down goes Trinix as EvilSparky starts his Vitreous fight. Alright, so that's crystal number 7, so that means it is time for the Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. So please, chat, get your numbers in. You've got between 1 and 22 to guess the location of the Big Key. If you are a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming family of channels, or you've donated 250 bits to any of those channels, you do have a chance to enter in the leaderboards. And please try to get your guesses in quick, because as soon as Elbody enters into Ganon's Tower, we do have to close the doors on that. Yeah, so it's about a... difference is about climbing Death Mountain right now. That's the difference in time. Alright, so 1 big 20 heart container on the right side. Bob is going to live this time. There's where some of our rupees were held. Elbody does forget the key in the hammer room, though. Big 20 in chest 4, key in chest 5. Arrow upgrade in chest 6. 7 is a bomb upgrade. Alright, so chest 8, we've got 300 more rupees. So EvilSparky is about 1 minute and 45 seconds behind Elbody right now. Sparky can't gamble right unless he grabs the key from left side and comes back, because it's big 20 and a heart container. He might gamble tile room? Nope, he forgot he needs a key. Alright, chest 8 is a key. Alright, so we've got chests 10 through 13 here. $10, 5 rupees. 11, piece of heart. 12 is the map. 13 is bombs. Alright, so next chest is going to be Bob's chest. Chest 14. $14, 20 rupees. Got the fight against Ice Armos, then we'll have chest 15, 16, 17. Down go the Ice Armos. 15, 20 rupees. 16, 20 rupees. 17, big key. But Elbody does not have a key right now. Is he going tile room for a key? Alright, congratulations to Aede. Sorry if I mispronounced the name, but you were successful in guessing the big Ganon Tower big key. So yeah, he is going to do tile room. And hope there's a small key here. No, it is not a mandatory tile room small key. He did not pick up the key in the hammer room of Ganon's Tower. This probably will put Sparky in the lead at this point. Has to wait for the bunny sprite. Okay, there's a small key. Sparky grabs his key. He's going to mirror. We are going into the gauntlet at the exact same time. The sync. We are going up together at 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 3 seconds. This is completely execution now at this point. Little bit of different routing in the first room. We're in the mimics. Sparky has a better first mimic room though, takes the lead. And also has a better second mimic room, so the lead widens a little bit. Yeah, so if you were hoping for a close race, everybody, then you got it. So if you're not strapped in, I think it's time to strap yourselves in. Got EvilSparky up by about a room. He's going to skip the fairies. And enters the gauntlet. First room down for EvilSparky. Having a little bit of trouble with the Stalfos. Well, Elbody is electing to use Ether. Looks like Elbody was looking for some health. They're both down to 4 hearts. Gives Sparky some time to widen the gap again. So now is a full room ahead. Sparky is down to 2 hearts now. I'm guessing he's probably going to powder these bunny beam right here. Grab that. He's off to the Landmolus refight. Gets 1 with silver arrows. Goes for a slash. Elbody also powders. Picks up the heart, heads up to the next floor. Elbody closely behind. Who misses the block just a little bit for the triple kill. Gets it that time though. Alright, oh, Sparky's on the second room, gets a fairy drop to fill his hearts up. Elbody's closely behind him, still about 1 room difference. Almost gets the quick kill on that room. Does have to wait for the second cycle. EvilSparky pulls out the fire rod. Gets all of them. Is going to go for the magic refill. Alright, finishes that off. Needs to get the key from one of these. Is, interestingly enough, checking chest, though. Picks the key up. Elbody is also... Nope. Elbody is going to skip. So they are in same room now. Alright, EvilSparky is on his Trolldorm 2 refight. 1 hit. One slash on Elbody's side. Down goes Trolldorm 2 for Sparky and also for Elbody. So one decides to take the last chest, Sparky decides to bomb it, but that does give Elbody time to get in the lead. Alright, so Elbody takes the lead for barely a room. We're going to see Aga 2 fights on these at the same time. We get a single on Elbody's side and a single on Sparky's. Single on both again. Nothing. So 0 on both again. Gets a double on Elbody. A single on Sparky's side though. And another double for Elbody. So Sparky needs, I believe, 2 more shots. Elbody's going to be off to Ganon. Alright, so Aga 2 down on EvilSparky's side. So this comes down to the Ganon fight, which should be quick fights because we've got butters, we've got red mail, we've got silvers, everything you want. Alright, Elbody quickly to phase 2's going to use Cape Stress to get through phase 2 with no damage. EvilSparky does not have a fairy. He used it, but he has a red potion instead. Alright, Elbody to phase 3. 2 more hits will send him to phase 4. EvilSparky should be in phase 3 when he finishes with the fire bats. One more hit on Elbody's side. Alright, we're in phase 4 on Elbody's side. 4 silver arrows. He does not try for a hit, goes for the torch glitch and gets it. Gets the freeze. 1 silver arrow. Could be a double. He does get the double. 1 more silver arrow. And that will do it. Elbody finishes Ganon off. GG. EvilSparky sets up for a double, and Gets it one more shot to Ganon. Will finish it off for EvilSparky, but Elbody does finish with an official Speed Racing TV time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 3 seconds. Unfortunately, misses the arrow. We'll get this one, though, and Ganon goes down to EvilSparky. GG to him. Gonna see if we can get them both in here for an interview, but EvilSparky1 does finish with a Speed Racing TV time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 47 seconds. And we're actually joined by EvilSparky1. GG.
GG's, that was close. As soon as I hit it, I saw that Elbody got the win for that.
Yeah, you'll have to go back to watch the VOD, but you both ended up going... Actually, I'm going to see if I can get him in here before we talk too much.
Sounds good.
But when we talk about, what happened during the seed, how do you feel about the seed?
I feel like it was a decent seed. I could tell that it was an Aghanim seed. As soon as I got those, the Master Sword and the Lamp, I was like, oh man, this is going to be an Aga seed.
Yeah, and then to push the point even further, it gave you the hook shot. Was like, that's probably, and then nothing else, but it's like, you're probably going to need to go, and then Pod was loaded. Skullwoods was loaded. Thieves Town was loaded.
Yeah, my luckiest break was definitely hitting up the Ice Palace kind of early-ish, I guess. But then I didn't realize I had the Cane of Samaria in my inventory. I was like, holy crap, what am I doing? Like, I should be going to, like, Turtle Rock or something.
Yeah, we were wondering when you saw that, and you saw it and kind of gave a few Fury Slashes, it looked like afterwards. And just for chat, Elbody is going to be skipping on an interview. He's actually not feeling well. His voice is pretty much gone, so he won't be coming in for an interview.
Well, good game to Elbody.
But yeah, so since we know he's not coming up here, you and Elbody started going up Ganon's Tower within a second of each other.
Jeez.
But yeah, the main thing that kind of put him back, and you started catching up at this point because you lost a lot of time when you gambled Ice Palace, had more, and he decided to he found the bow and just kind of thought about it for probably about 30 seconds, and then decided to just immediately nope out of Ice Palace. And then, nothing else ended up being out of Ice Palace. It wasn't Pedestal, nothing off the Green Pendant. The main thing which allowed you to catch up is you checked the Fat Fairy probably a good 20 minutes before he did. He actually gambled that the Ice Rod was in Turtle Rock itself.
Ah, I see. Yeah, I was definitely gambling that Green Pendant for the flute or something. I was like, hopefully it's there.
Yeah, it's kind of what we were all talking about is, if it ends up being an Ice Palace or the Green Pendant, it's going to put you in a large lead. If not, it kind of puts you at a deficit. But then the Ice Rod came up, and he was basically finishing Turtle Rock as you finished Misery Mire. So the difference between you going in again in Star was the climb up Death Mountain. The main thing that caught you up there was he forgot about the key in the Hammer Room. So when he got the big key, he had no keys, was looking and like, I don't have any keys, I can't go to right side, and ended up he still didn't know about that or forgot about it and went for Tire Room. And Tire Room did have a small key, but then you were pretty much just right on top of each other throughout the rest of it, and you entered Aga 2 like 4 seconds apart.
That's crazy. That was close. That's a good game.
Yeah, it was a very, very nice race.
Yeah, it definitely put me behind checking all those overworld spots when I could have just gone up to Turtle Rock. I definitely know that.
Yeah, I guess the one of the questions I had is because Elbody didn't sequence break Zora's area like you did, and you ended up getting the mushroom in the cape from Waterfall of Wishing. Did you think about turning in the mushroom before heading to Ega 1 at all?
No, I was saying I'll route it in with, when I go back up. I was originally, the first time I got into the Dark World, I was trying to route it in, like maybe hook shot and across and hopefully get in the mirror. That would have been a great thing, but I forgot that I didn't have gloves at the time. I was like, oh man. But I was going to route it in with what's it called? Catfish.
Yeah, it's usually a nice time to do it if you just don't do it normally, or if you have to walk up to Zora's for some reason. I guess the other question, because we all noticed Skullwoods, you found book and the mitts right away, and then you continue checking for items.
Yeah, I totally lost my count. I was just so focused on other stuff. And then after that, I was like, oh man, because I did this my last race too. I totally miscounted and got that last key in that chest. I was like, I did the same thing twice. But yeah, I made sure to count in my other dungeons for sure. I was like, oh man, I have to keep track of that.
Yeah, but I guess the best thing was, where the ice rod ended up being, and where you ended up finding Cane of Samaria and everything to get to Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock was technically clearable like 55 minutes into the seed.
Ha! Still right now, I don't even remember where I got the cane. I just looked at my inventory. I was like, oh, where did I get this? I was like, how long have I had this? Oh, man.
I believe Cane, if I'm not mistaken, was Thieves Town. I think it was one of the items within Thieves Town.
Wow. I just totally just blew over my head. That's so funny.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was the big chest in Thieves Town.
Because I think I got the cane before I got the ice rod, and that's kind of what threw me off a bit.
Yeah, because if I know it was early, it was before Ice Rod. I'm almost positive it was Thieves Town, and then it was just like, and Skullwoods and Thieves Town were your 5-6 crystals, so you had access to Fat Fairy right after finding the hammer. You had Pod, and then right after you finished Thieves Town, you had access to it right away. So after checking Hype Caves, it's like everybody was just like, because both you and Elbody just kind of kept routing close to Pod, things like that, just walking right by the bomb shop. We're like, they could check that.
Yeah, another time sink was I forgot that Pod was a crystal. In my mind, I had it as a pendant, I guess, from all the practice seeds I was playing. I was just like, oh yeah, Pod's a pendant. And it took a lot of time going back there when I remembered. I was like, oh man, it would have been nice to route this in with Eastern,
Yeah, that's what I thought originally, because when you got the green pen, I'm like, I'm sure he's going to go to Dark World, just mirror to Ega, or not to Ega, to Sahasrahla, check the green pendant, head into Pod, clear Eastern, and then at that point, if you don't find anything, it's like, where am I going to go now?
Yeah, that's definitely what I was going to do if I had remembered, but I did not. It was a forgetful seed for me, man. I was just glad that it wasn't a pedestal, flute, or bow or something, because I was just thinking bow, flutes, Cane of Samaria, because I didn't realize I had it, so those were my go mode head items,
Yeah, it's like for a long time until even, going to Misery Mire, Quake was still there. And if Quake was Misery Mire, it very well could have been a pedestal seed at that point. Because we were really out of locations between the two of you, because it was to where Elbody had checked Desert and left. He skipped Hera on the first trip up Death Mountain. You went in, so we knew there was nothing inside of either of those. You cleared Ice Palace, so if it wouldn't have been inside Turtle Rock, and then we would have checked the Mire area and no Quake, then that we really would have been down to Quake having to be on pedestal at that point.
Yeah, I was just like, sigh of relief when I saw that it was Ether. I was like, oh man, okay, we're good.
Yeah, and I believe Elbody actually, he did check the pedestal before, and we just found out it was the bomb upgrade, so he knew at that point. It was like, okay, I'm good, I don't need anything.
It was nice getting the lamp early, too. I didn't have to do any dark rooms this time. That was good.
Yeah, as I know, your last seed, because yeah, we raced against each other last week. That was, you ended up having to do everything in the dark.
Yeah, it was a good test of my dark, my dark room navigation, I guess. This was pretty fun.
Yeah, it always helps to know them at least, but you're never going to complain about finding an early lamp, except when it forces you to go through Aga.
Yeah, I was thinking about checking. What's his name? In Desert Cave. I was thinking about checking that before going to Aga, but I was like, no, it's only one spot. I'm not going to have enough to access Dark World anyway. I'm just going to head up there right now.
Yeah, the only way it would have helped if it would have been like gloves, because then you would have had access to all of Lightside, except Hera. You would have had access to everything on Death Mountain on the light side.
Yeah, that's why I was checking a few locations before then, because I was like, well, if I get some gloves and then mitts, luckily I'd be able to skip that pretty easily. But overall, it was a decent seed. Didn't take me. It wasn't trolly too much. It was just me forgetting stuff.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything bad, because at first, like when we found the flute in Turtle Rock, it was like, hey, this could be a forced Turtle Rock double dip if the ice rod ends up being in the mire area now. But we found the ice rod was just kind of sitting there on the pyramid fairy the whole time.
Selfish fairy, just hoarding all the goods,
Yeah, she never has anything except when you really want it. It's like, I need the ice rod. It's like, I have it, but you're not going to come check it now.
That's just like her to do something like that.
Yeah, that sounds like the pyramid fairy. But I guess, were there any final thoughts on the seed or anything like that?
Not really. I want to give a shout out to my opponent, Elbody. It was a great race. Can't wait to see the video of that, how close it was. Shout outs to the commentators, you, and who is the other commentator?
I soloed this one.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that. And Melee Wizard for doing the tracking. Great job. All that takes a lot of work. I know that.
Yeah, well, I'll just kind of reiterate that. Shout out to, both you and Elbody for giving us this race. It was a very fun one to watch, especially as we got down to the wire there. Gen fights together, Aga 2 fights together, just the tower going back and forth, just climbing up the tower. Melee Wizard for doing tracking, everybody behind the scenes that are allowing this tournament to go on, getting as many restreams as we're getting. With the 256 races we're having a week, getting as many of these done as possible.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's awesome stuff.
But other than that, this race is over. But let's see, it's about 3:30 Eastern time, so we do have a couple of races that just started up. On Speed Gaming, the normal one, we've got Boyne versus Raspberry Floof. That started about a half an hour ago. And then on Speed Gaming 5, we have Kova 46 versus Zaphod Beeblebrox the 4th. And then if you don't want to catch a race that was in the middle, we do have a couple races. It looks like at least 3, if they can find commentators and everything. Looks like we might be short on those. We got 3 races that are starting at 4 as well. One on Speed Gaming 4, one on Speed Gaming 3, and then one on a Link to the Past randomizer. So there's still plenty more randomizer action for you for today. Still early in the day. So more than enough time for you to catch rando if you missed all of this race. But that is going to do it for us on Speed Gaming 3. I hope everybody enjoyed this race, and I hope you all have a good night.
Yep, you too. Have a good night.